While President Trump continues his praise for North Korea on its commitment to denuclearize, three senior U.S. officials tell NBC News that the latest intelligence suggests North Korea could produce 5 to 8 new nuclear weapons this year and is building new structures to hide them. And while the officials say North Korea's recent actions have the administration looking for ways to bolster its pressure campaign, the White House says it's preparing for a second summit between the two leaders, following a letter from Kim Jong-un requesting another meeting. Joining us now is senior member of the Armed Services Committee, Congressman John Garamendi of California. Good to have you on.
Congressman, thanks so much. You know, if the overriding fear, for good reason, Donald Trump's first year in the White House was a possibility of a nuclear conflict, is it good news that now the president is talking more about continuing conversations with Kim Jong-un in North Korea?
Well, it is. Certainly, negotiations are the only avenue that will lead to any success. A war on that peninsula is just a horrendous situation. However, the president has to be very, very clear-eyed. Kim Jong-un is no good person. He is a bad guy. And he and his father before them have hidden their nuclear ambitions for decades, and they're going to continue until there is some sort of a settlement, and a settlement is actually possible.
Are you concerned with the continued talks with the president talking about setting up another summit, or do you have confidence in people like Secretary Mattis, Secretary Pompeo, and others around him, and actually John Bolton, a real hawk on North Korea, that they will make sure that those talks move forward in a way that protects our interests?
Well, first of all, it's pretty clear from all the writing, all the articles and books, that the president doesn't really listen to anybody. In this case, he's looking for love in all the wrong places. He's not going to find love from Kim Jong-un. Those men that you discussed, they are, I think, competent, capable, and the negotiations should be in their hands. It's not going to be easy, but there is a path forward. But the president really cannot continue to just expect Kim Jong-un to be nice. He's not going to be nice. He's going to do everything he can to protect his interest, his family's control over North Korea. And we need to be very much aware that the neighborhood, that is China, Japan, South Korea, and others, need to continue to put pressure on them. And then when the president is out there starting a trade war with people that we have to have work with us, we get ourselves into a real problem here.
You know, we have the possibility of another summit on the heels of, as you mentioned, books, articles, anonymous op-eds where people inside the White House appear to be admitting to containing the president and even going against him without him knowing. How dangerous would a summit be with this type of atmosphere, and especially with the track record he has so far with previous summits, like, for example, Helsinki?
Well, certainly Helsinki was a major disaster when he refused to stand up to Putin and basically kowtowed to him. Similarly, at the Singapore summit, Trump wants it all to be love and nice. Well, it would be wonderful if you were dealing with somebody that was lovely and nice, but Kim Jong-un is not. He's a very cagey, smart person who's out to protect his interest. The president needs to understand that. There is a path forward. The president of South Korea wants to have a peace treaty with North Korea. The president has not moved forward with that request. That's an angle and that's a path that should be pursued. At the same time, we need to make sure that these sanctions are working, and they are not. There's clear evidence that China's backed away from its commitment on sanctions. Quite possibly others are. We are ramping them up. We're trying to deal with the shipping issues.
Right.
All of those are important, but that requires the cooperation of China, and now we're in the midst of a trade war with China. What kind of cooperation could we expect?
Congressman John Garamendi, thank you very much for being on the show this morning.